Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mishra and I do videos about all things budgeting and personal finance, and you'll get to see a little bit of my debt-free journey, the good and the inevitable bad. So it is September 1st. So over the last couple of months, I moved in the month of June. So since then, I've kind of had double utilities that I was paying on my new place and on my old place. But starting September, I think that things have calmed down. I think I've paid all the last of the utilities or whatever for my old place. So I'm hoping to be able to just focus on saving some money, paying off a little bit of the debt that I have, and kind of locking in for the rest of 2025. So normally I do my budget in YNAB, but I like to, before I do that, I like to go into my Google spreadsheet, which I have linked below. There's a YouTuber, a Canadian YouTuber that creates these spreadsheets, so I'll have that link below. Yeah, so I just kind of like to do it in the spreadsheet first, just to make sure that I have enough money coming in for the month to cover the expenses for the month. And then I switch to YNAB when I'm kind of doing like my paycheck budget. So anyways, let's get into it. Like I said, I use this Google spreadsheet, and I used to fill in the expense tracker. So like you'll see here below, there's a section to put in all of your expenses. But because I don't have time, I don't do that anymore, and I use YNAB. But if you do use the spreadsheet properly, it will update all of your bank account balances. So these are incorrect right now. And you'll be able to track your actual balances as you enter in your expenses. So I really do like that feature in the spreadsheet. But anyway, so let's get started with our income. So for the month of September, I did get a little increase last month from work, which net was about $100. So for my main paycheck, I only get paid once a month, and that would be $7,049. And then I do some side work, so some kind of like bookkeeping and stuff like that on the side. And so for the month of September, I expect to get $1,100. And then we have the Canada Child Benefit, which is a benefit given to us from the government. It changes each July, but it's based on the amount of children you have, their age, and your annual income. So I get $930 each month. So for our income, for September, we're bringing in $9,079, which that's not too bad. So let's just move on to our variable expenses. So groceries, I normally budget $200 a week for groceries. So that's just $800. And for fuel, I think normally $50 actually a week is sufficient. But I think I just kind of like padded it a little bit. So maybe I'll actually change this to maybe just $250, just in case like I go somewhere or something. So eating out, I try to, or in recent times, because before I was using a lot of Uber Eats, we try to eat at home. And so I just put our eating out budget at $200. And so this doesn't really include like restaurants or anything like that. It's more so like fast food. And I allow that kind of to at least happen once per week. So personal, I do get my nails done. So this will cover that and a little bit extra. So I'm actually gonna put $120 because I also like to get my eyebrows done, which I haven't done in a little bit. But yeah, and then so kids, I'm just gonna put $100 because all the back to school stuff is done. So I don't expect to really be buying anything more for them, but you know, they're kids, so you never know what will kind of come up. I always budget $200 for miscellaneous, but I find in recent times I've actually been spending more than that. So we're gonna revisit this. And then in September, I don't have anyone that has any birthdays, but I will still put $50 because you never know if sometimes I just may want to get someone something randomly. Rideshare, I don't use rideshare anymore because I bought a car. So I don't need to do that. And then my gym membership is $46. And I'm just going to put $50 for home because, I mean, I live in a new place, so there's always something that needs to be purchased one way or another. And so that is $1,816 on our variable expenses. And if we come over to bills and subscriptions, so I always give a portion of my income or a percentage of my income. So $910 is what we'll be giving to charity this month. And my rent is $2,850. So this is for a 2-bedroom, sorry, not 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom townhouse. And so this is one of my utilities. And at my old place, it used to only be $60, but at this new place, the bill has been around $110, I'm actually even gonna put $120 just to make sure, because it's just been higher. And I'm not even sure exactly what this covers. But anyways, this is another electricity bill or something. And again, it was higher at my old place, but it seems lower at this place. But I've only had one bill so far, so I'm just gonna budget $120. Like my last bill was $80, but I'll just budget $120 because I rather over budget than under budget. And then Bell, so this is for our cell phone. So for 2 cell phones and internet, so that's $185. I no longer have this because we used to have one of those Ring Bell camera things, but on this place, we're not allowed putting one up. So we no longer have that. And then subscriptions. So a couple videos ago, I went over my subscriptions and I used to only budget $300, but I realized it's closer to $380 now because there were some things like Kindle Unlimited and now my YNAB subscription that have been added to this. So we budget $380. Car insurance. This is like car insurance and renter's insurance. And I have like also a little bit of life insurance in there too, because I get like a multi-product discount or something like that. So I've just had that on there for the last like 15 years. So I believe it's around $325. And then insurance. So this is various insurances and life insurance and stuff for my whole entire family. So that's $420. So the thing I like about this spreadsheet, if we go here, we can kind of see a budget overview. So my income so far, the expenses that I have for my variable expenses, and then my bills. So total remaining to budget, I have $1,953. So we're gonna see what we're going to do with that. So if we come down here first to debts. So I do have one loan that I pay each month and it's $350. And then I have automatically set up for my investments. I have $50 that automatically goes into my Wealthsimple account. And then I have $75 that automatically goes into my kids' registered education savings plan, which I will increase at some point, but as I'm paying down debt and trying to save money, this is okay for now. My oldest is just in grade 8, so she at least has 4 years until university, so we'll ramp up that in a little bit. Okay, and then my RSP comes straight off my paycheck, so it's not included in the amount above, but that normally is around, I think it's like $240 that goes into my registered retirement savings plan each month. Okay, so what do we have left? $1,478. Okay, so now we do want to pay off some credit card debt. How much do we want to do? So before I do that though, I think that last month I wanted to max out or put my savings account up to $1,000, but I wasn't quite able to make it up to that point because we had back to school and stuff like that. So I have to double check, but I think it was only, I think I was able to get it to $730. So that would mean that I still had $270. So first I'm going to put $270 into this emergency fund area there. And then I do want to contribute to my tax-free savings account. So I am going to put $200 there. And then we have $1,008. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of that I might need money for. So, okay. Credit card, we're going to try and pay $500 towards our credit card. $500. And that will probably bring the balance down quite significantly. And then, okay, what do we have left? $508. So I think what I'm going to do, I always put money in this little travel account. I think I'm going to put $300 just to try and put aside, see if I can leave it there. And then I'm going to increase, wait, what? Oh, this is savings income, sorry. It's not supposed to go there. It's supposed to go into down here. So $300. And then that means I should have about $208 left. So I'm going to add that to miscellaneous because I realize I've just been spending more than $200 on miscellaneous. And because, I don't know, like just with my kids and stuff like that, and then just like various other things, I just kind of like to have a buffer. At some point, I'll want to have an actual buffer in my account, kind of like where if there's $500 in my account, that's as if I have zero. But this is kind of more so just like a buffer that will probably get used as little things kind of come up. Like my daughter might have a birthday party or something like that, that just kind of came up out of the blue. Or they're like, hey mom, we have a school project. I need Bristol board or something like that. So anyways, I think I'll add the remainder to miscellaneous. So that's 208. So this will bring this to $408. And then that is our zero-based budget. So our income is $9,079. Our miscellaneous or variable expenses are $2,024. And then our fixed expenses are $5,310. And then we'll put $570 to savings. Our investments will be $325. We'll pay $500 to our credit card and $350 to our loan. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. At least I know that I do have some extra money for the month. Like if I'm not able to put this into savings, like that's okay. Even if I'm not fully able to put this whole $500 for some reason to debt, that also is okay. So yeah, so that is our zero-based budget. If you want the spreadsheet, look in the description below. You'll see a link to it. If you're interested in using YNAB, you can also look below and there will be a referral link to that. And I believe you get 34 days free if you sign up with that. And YNAB is really good because it connects to your bank accounts so that you don't have to sit there and type out all of your expenses if you do not have the time to do that. So anyways, that was our budget for the month. And so I will see you in the next paycheck. Bye.